Hi, Remy here. Have you ever stared up at the night sky and felt a sense of wonder? A feeling that there must be something more out there? What if I told you that more isn't just about distant galaxies, but entire other universes existing right alongside our own? This is the mind-bending concept of the multiverse. It is an idea that has jumped from the pages of science fiction into the serious discussions of theoretical physicists. So, let's dive in. Are we just one reality among many? And could we ever peek into another one? The idea of a multiverse isn't just one single theory, it's more like a family of theories, each proposing a different way that multiple universes could exist. One of the most popular ideas comes from something called eternal inflation. Imagine our universe began with the Big Bang, a moment of rapid expansion. The theory of eternal inflation suggests that this expansion, or inflation, isn't a one-time event. It's constantly happening, creating new universes like bubbles popping up in a boiling pot of water. Each bubble is its own universe, with its own set of physical laws. In one universe, gravity might be stronger. In another, light might travel at a different speed. Our universe is just one bubble in an endless cosmic foam of other universes. Another fascinating idea comes from the world of quantum mechanics, the strange and wonderful rules that govern the subatomic world. This is the many worlds interpretation. It suggests that every time a quantum event has more than one possible outcome, the universe splits. Think about it. You decide to turn left instead of right. In one universe, you go left. But in another, a new universe branches off where you went right. This means there's a universe for every single choice you've ever made, and every choice you didn't make. There's a version of you who became an astronaut, a version who learned to play the guitar, and countless other versions living completely different lives. This isn't just about big decisions either. It applies to every tiny quantum event happening all the time, everywhere. The number of parallel universes would be staggering, practically infinite. Then there's the brain world theory, which comes from string theory. It proposes that our universe is a three-dimensional brain, like a giant sheet of paper, floating in a higher dimensional space. And we're not alone in this space. Other brains, other universes, could be floating right next to ours, separated by a microscopic distance in a higher dimension we can't perceive. It's like having neighbors you can never see or hear because they live on a different vibrational frequency. These universes could be just a millimeter away, but we're completely oblivious to their existence. So the big question is, if these other universes are out there, how can we find them? This is where things get really tricky. By definition, another universe is separate from our own. It's not something we can just point a telescope at. But scientists are clever, and they've come up with some indirect ways to look for evidence. One method involves looking for clues in the cosmic microwave background, or CMB. This is the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, a snapshot of our universe when it was just a baby. If our universe, our bubble, ever collided with another bubble universe in the distant past, it might have left a bruise. This bruise would appear as a strange cold or hot spot in the otherwise uniform temperature of the CMB. Astronomers have been scanning the CMB for years, and while they've found some interesting anomalies, there's no smoking gun yet. But the search continues. Another way we might detect a neighboring universe is through gravity. If another universe is close to ours in a higher dimension, its gravity could leak into our own. We can't see the matter in that universe, but we might be able to feel its gravitational pull. Some physicists have speculated that the mysterious force we call dark matter, which makes up a huge chunk of our universe but doesn't interact with light, could actually be the gravity from matter in a parallel universe. Proving this would be incredibly difficult, but experiments at places like the Large Hadron Collider are pushing the boundaries of physics, looking for new particles or dimensions that could hint at a reality beyond our own. This all leads to the ultimate fantasy. Could we ever visit another universe? Right now, the answer is a firm no. If the multiverse is real, the barriers between universes are likely insurmountable. Traveling to a bubble universe created by eternal inflation would be impossible. The space between them is expanding faster than the speed of light, so you could never cross it. What about a quantum parallel world, a world where you made a different choice? The many worlds theory doesn't offer a mechanism for crossing over. The split is permanent. And as for the brain worlds, even if one is just a millimeter away, it's a millimeter in a direction we can't move. It's like a character in a 2D cartoon trying to jump off the page into our 3D world. They don't have the dimension to do it. But let's just imagine for a second. What if we could? What would happen if we tried to step into another universe? The consequences could be, well, unpredictable. If we entered a universe with slightly different physical laws, our own bodies might not be stable. The atoms that make us up are held together by the fundamental forces of our universe. Change those forces even slightly, and we could disintegrate instantly. The very chemistry of our biology might cease to function. Even if we found a universe with identical laws of physics, like a quantum parallel world, the visit would still be fraught with danger. Would the other you be happy to see you? Would your presence cause some kind of paradox that could unravel reality? The possibilities are endless and, frankly, a bit terrifying. The multiverse might be a place best observed from a safe distance, if we can even manage that. So, while the multiverse remains a concept on the edge of science, it challenges us to think bigger. It reminds us that what we see and experience might only be a tiny fraction of a much grander, more complex reality. The search for other universes is really a search for a deeper understanding of our own. It forces us to ask fundamental questions about existence, reality, and our place in the cosmos. We may never get to shake hands with our alternate selves or witness the birth of a new universe. But the very act of looking, of questioning, pushes the boundaries of human knowledge. Whether the multiverse is real or not, the pursuit of that answer is a journey that expands our own universe of thought. And that, in itself, is an incredible adventure. Thanks for joining me on this trip through the cosmos. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more explorations into the biggest questions in science. Remy signing off, stay safe and stay curious. See you next time.